God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide. Hello, everyone. It's the Doctor of Disaster. This is second video I'm actually doing today, and it'll probably come out a few days later. But I wanted to talk about something that has undermined the confidence of Americans. I believe that something needs to be done, or we are going to lose this republic. So stay tuned and let's get into this. The Doctor of Disaster is a wholly owned subsidiary of Warnick and Associates Incorporated. Don't forget to get your copy of the Doctor of Disaster's book, Emergency Incident Management Systems, at Amazon.com. Hello, everyone. It's the Doctor of Disaster. I am the Doctor of Disaster, Dr. Mark Warnick, PhD. I am considered a subject matter expert by not one, but two different universities in public safety and public health emergency management. Let me remind you not to forget to like, subscribe, and comment. That's how eventually this channel will get monetized. So let's get into this. We have a problem in the United States, and the confidence of Americans is ruffled at the least, shattered at the most. We have an issue where election integrity has been called into question. Now, my friends on the left, and you know who you are, I've got some. Hi, Rob. Oops, did I say that name out loud? Anyway, even if the left believes that there was election integrity during this past election, or a large portion of them do, on the right, there's a large portion that believes that there was cheating. What do we do? Well, the first thing we do is investigate. I'm not saying we don't put the president elect in. Not at all. Wouldn't do that. What I'm saying is, over the next 4 years, we need to have an honest, open look at election integrity nationwide and figure out how we can assure the American people that their vote counts. In this republic, the democratic way of voting is how we elect our officials. And if we don't have a voice in who gets elected, then the country is going to be run by those that we didn't elect. And that essentially becomes a dictatorship. Now, I do not want dictatorship in my country. Nope. And I don't want communism. And I don't want socialism. I have been quite happy for 59 years with the freedoms we have, and I want to keep them. So, I believe the first thing we should do is to put together a bipartisan committee of those that actually want election integrity, both Republicans and Democrats, even independents. Someone that is going to call out the wrong and someone who is going to praise what's right. Now, people like that in Congress are going to be hard to find. But I think if we can take the politics out of it, look at it openly, and investigate it, and I believe there should be a 2 year investigation and then 1 year of approving changes as needed. There's plenty of ways that we can strengthen election integrity. We need to quit allowing people to be able to change votes or to determine what the voter wanted. That's not their job. If the ballot isn't marked right and everything was done properly to get the ballot to that point, then why are we deciding what the people wanted? And another thing, I am very sorry, but I personally believe that we need to start showing IDs when we go to vote. I believe that if a mail in ballot is used, that they should have a copy of their some ID. Doesn't have to be a driver's license, but some ID so that we know this is the person voting. And we need to get the states and the counties to clear up their voter rolls. End of story. There's no reason for anyone to be on the voter roll if they moved out of the state. If they died, they need to be purged. You know, if we put a system in place where those that died, the coroner or whoever issued the death certificate could automatically send a notification to those keeping the voter rolls and they could remove those. That's simple. And I'm not saying there was fraud in this last election, but what I am saying is there's the appearance that there was fraud. And I've seen some things that really make me wonder if there really was fraud. Actually, I'm leaning towards yes, there was. But that doesn't mean that we have to accept that. Let's tighten up our election integrity. Let's get on the right path and hand the power back to we the people, not the elected officials, not the handful that want their side. I believe that our poll workers should be vetted to make sure they're not radical left or radical right. I believe that every vote counted should have an observer there from each party. I don't care if there's 10 parties. What do we need to do? We need to ensure election integrity. And if there's something called into question while they're counting ballots, why would we allow one person to make that decision? Really? So the person in charge of a county election is going to say, no, that's okay. And the next one, oh, no, that can go. It allows bias. And in our election system, we do not need bias. We need honesty. You know, if we look at one of the things that we hear all the time, the polls for who's the most popular guy in the country, or uh, how well liked is Congress, or how much do Americans trust the media or trust Congress or trust elected officials. If we look at those, the one thing they've got is they collect that data honestly. Ethically, they have to collect it honestly. So, why are we not collecting our votes, which is essentially a poll for who the people want, with integrity? I believe that we should use the integrity that academics use when doing research. If there's no integrity, then there's no republic. This is something we need to really, really look at. And I'm asking everyone to call their congressman and senator and say, we want integrity. This isn't a partisan issue. It can't be. This has to be a totally neutral, unbiased look at our elections. You know, I have no issues with who gets elected as long as I'm sure that my vote counted and that we weren't cheated. But many have gone to the thought, win at all costs. Well, guess what? Here's the way this works. If your policies are on point, you'll get the votes. If you're a jerk, you won't get the votes. Or if your policies are too radical or too conservative, you won't get the vote. What we've done is our country has gone to radicals on both sides, lots of them. Now, in the very near future, I'm going to talk about Section 230 as well. I believe that this is election interference. And I believe that social media is undermining democracy. So stay tuned. What do you think about the elections? Should we investigate if there was fraud? And should we investigate if there's ways to tighten it up? Or are you happy with status quo? Let me know in the comments down below. So that is it for today. Remember to like, subscribe, and comment. See you later. Be safe. I'm going to show you some pictures here. And myself and two of the boys that help me out have decided to start a company called MWB Custom Woodworks. And look at these beautiful flags. We are making these flags. We are selling them for $100 for the big flag plus exact shipping. These are all hand carved. The medium-sized flags are $65. And the small flags are $40. And that will be exact shipping. Additionally, we are doing these wonderful, and they're weird, but they're cute, letters. So if you want a letter for your name or whatever, and for $25 plus shipping, we have this American heart. I have a hand in every single one of these. Every one is hand carved, hand cut. We do these. They are not mass produced. So if you're interested in one, once again, right here is my email address. And that's also where, if you want to make a donation, you can make one to my PayPal account. I'm not trying to get rich. I'm just trying to survive. The Doctor of Disaster is a wholly owned subsidiary of Warnick and Associates Incorporated.